What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about when we are going to get a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and I want to try to connect it with Black Widow. In my opinion, Black Widow has got to be the time that we get this, but it's definitely an open-ended question because, look, your guess is easily just as good as mine, okay? So that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. I will be honest, I wasn't expecting it. I was rooting for it, but I wouldn't even say I was rooting for it too hard because I just knew that it could potentially not be true. But the whole, could they show the trailer on Tom Holland's birthday? I mean, you show the Shang-Chi trailer on his birthday and then you don't do it for Tom. It's kind of a little unfair personally to me. But, no, I mean, was it possible that it could have happened that day? Sure. At this point, though, well, here's the deal. I mean, what's funny about this is we've talked about different leaks for No Way Home, like on the main channel, quite a few times. I think like 3 or 4 times. Whenever there's plot leaks, I like to make the video. They do well for me. They get views. They're fun to make. They're very fun to talk about because I kind of believe some parts, actually even most parts, some things are a little far out there, right? So we've done that quite a bit, and it's like at this point, and I said it in those videos as well, like, I get why they're waiting on this trailer, okay? To be honest with you, I think it's simply just for the fact that they don't want to reveal kind of the multiverse idea of what the movie is going to be, and that's kind of it. You could say, well, maybe the trailer's just not ready yet. I mean, I do think that could be part of it, but I don't think that is the main part of it. I do think there's a lot of just kind of sitting and waiting for the right time. Now, it's Marvel, and whenever we kind of doubt them in terms of their planning and stuff, really, they've proven that we shouldn't. I would say they've proven themselves enough as of right now. Now, over the next, 2 or 3 years with all the stuff that they're doing, is there room for failure? Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think there will be failure in some of these things. But, for now, saying that they maybe don't have a plan for it, stuff like that, maybe that's not right, at all, right? Because maybe, obviously, again, they've done really good so far. But, and another thing was maybe you wanted the Eternals trailer to come out first, which makes sense. It's not, I mean, maybe the way I said that sounded stupid, right? Eternals comes out first, comes out like a month or so before Spider-Man, so obviously that trailer would have to release first. Shang-Chi, really, because of what's happened with Black Widow, because, normally they don't even do this, right? Normally they wait for each of these movies to release before they start pumping out the kind of promotion for the next one. But because Black Widow releases in July and then Shang-Chi is like a month later, you got to get moving. So you do Shang-Chi, you do Eternals, and I would imagine you do Spider-Man again for Black Widow. We'll talk about that in a second. But I would say overall, those 3 movies, you'll probably do the trailer for all within a month and a half of each other. Now, talking about the Black Widow thing, you could argue that the reason they did the Eternal, and I actually, I haven't put much thought in this because I'm really not all that impressed with Eternals. It's easily one of the least cared about things that for me, that I care about, going forward, specifically with Marvel. You could say they did the Eternals trailer so that when you go see Black Widow, it's that. It's like, okay, here's the next bit. Because Shang-Chi, obviously, that's the one right after it in terms of, which one comes out next. But I think Eternals is, the one that maybe they're afraid won't do well, so they're really going to try and push it. But really, no matter what, even if you don't believe that, and that's totally cool, it's just something they're going to push, right? Why wouldn't you, right? It's definitely something you're going to push. The thing is, could you also push Spider-Man? I'd say yes. When Black Widow comes out, you are 5 months and a week away from Spider-Man. Now, again, yeah, you normally would want to wait one after the other, but as they've just proven with the trailers and as we've proven with the release schedules, you truly can't do that. If you waited for Black Widow to do Shang-Chi, you're giving yourself a month. If you waited for Eternals until Shang-Chi was out, you're giving yourself 2.5 months. If you waited for Eternals to do Spider-Man, you're giving yourself 3.5, 4 weeks. You know what I mean? So you obviously can't do that. So I think this is a very different kind of situation. I think you do it. I really think you do it. You're not going to hurt, the stuff that's going to be going on in these upcoming movies. Are they going to necessarily impact Spider-Man, where it's oh, shoot, we have to show the trailer so people know what Spider-Man's doing, or where we're trying to push the universe so they understand the others? I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. And so maybe that's another thing where it's well, they don't have to, because the multiverse and all that stuff, you don't have to show it because Shang-Chi may not touch upon that. Eternals may not touch, or in terms of directly like what Spider-Man's up to, okay? But I would just say, like, and it's tough to say like they're hurting themselves every single day that they're not releasing it, but as I've said in those plot ones, like the whole Andrew Garfield thing and the Tobey Maguire thing and people saying, well, I mean, they flat out said no. I mean, specifically, I guess Andrew Garfield said that, right? Specifically because they said no. And I've always countered with, well, why is Doc Ock from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie in this? And he literally confirmed it's him. It's him right after that movie. Instead of dying, he basically gets transported, right? How can you bring him in without Tobey? How can you bring in Electro, who Jamie Foxx is confirmed to be playing? Now you could argue, well, maybe it's Tom Holland's universe's Electro. Well, but it's not. It's the Raimi versus Doc Ock. So wouldn't it be the Amazing Spider-Man universe's Electro? So again, those things, those arguments fall apart very, very quickly. Why would you be bringing in those villains if you weren't bringing in those Spider-Men? So I think there's not even a shadow of doubt in my mind they're in the movie. Now, you could say I'm setting myself up for failure and all that stuff. I mean, I guess you could call me naive, all that stuff, but I'm just so into that mindset, there's no breaking me. I fully 1,000%, not even 100%, 1,000% believe that they're in the movie. So again, it could also be something like that where it's like they don't want to do it yet because that's a big secret that they're going to finally have to let out. And maybe they're afraid that doing something like that, because, the movie could fail, and having so many heroes and villains in one movie, the way they're doing it, is, you could say Avengers, the way they're doing it could absolutely not work, okay? So, but at the same time, it is going to be one of the biggest things any movie or any franchise has ever done in the history of the world, okay? So no doubt it's going to be big. Maybe they're afraid that takes away from Eternal, because after knowing that, does Eternals look all that good or like sound all that good? I mean, to me, it never really did, but especially with that, it's like, okay, it could still fail, but come on, seeing all three Spider-Men together, how can you not? You know what I mean? So, they could be doing that, but again, I just think every day they let it go kind of becomes more annoying because it's like the actors are literally, some of them, again, Doc Ock's actor, he literally spoke out about this. So it's like the cat's out of in my opinion, the cat's out of the bag. And he's like ran down the street and he's about to get hit by a car and you just are still sitting in your house, right? And you're like, I don't even care. That's the situation that they're doing right now. So I really think we need a trailer soon. I think we needed it like a few months ago. At the same time, I understand, they were still filming, but they're done. They're done filming now. So there's no, in my opinion, excuse. Right now, I think they're just kind of sitting on their own hands and they're just kind of waiting. And I really think, in terms of, again, when will we get it? I think Black Widow kind of has to be it. Although, I do get it, though, because my argument is, you go see Black Widow, you're just going to get hit with all these Marvel trailers, which is really cool and really big, and Spider-Man is one of them, right? But you could argue that maybe that takes away from the trailers of the other two that we already have, and maybe 3 is too much. Maybe it's only 2. But again, well, are you going to do it for Shang-Chi then? Maybe you do. Maybe Shang-Chi, maybe they're afraid that movie's not going to do so well. I don't blame them. I don't think, I actually kind of like how it looks. I like how it looks different than what they've done in the past. I don't think it looks amazing, but I don't think it looks bad. But it definitely looks different. Maybe they're afraid that people won't go see it because of just how different it is. Maybe you connect a Spider-Man trailer to that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they do. So they let Black Widow go. They give Shang-Chi and Eternals the trailers for there. Then when all that stuff's said and done and you go into Shang-Chi, then you get the Eternals trailer and Spider-Man. Could be. It's definitely possible. I think just over the summer, we need it. And obviously, I think we're going to get it. But let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? When do you think we're going to get it? You think we get it for Black Widow, Shang-Chi, maybe later, maybe, not even connected to those movies releasing? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Obviously, when the trailer for Spider-Man does drop, I will for sure cover it in one of these 2 channels, okay? Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's video.